Drama in the Tsitsipas Altmaier second round US Open match. Early in the fourth set, with Tsitsipas up 2-1, Altmaier performs an underhand serve. He ends up winning the point by hitting a lob after Tsitsipas scrambles up to get the underhand serve. And a few games later, Altmaier, who did a lot of serve and volleying in this match, comes into the net. Tsitsipas hits a great low ball. Altmaier pops it up into the half court. Tsitsipas has the entire court open for a passing shot. It's a forehand from the middle of the court, and Tsitsipas decides to drill this ball right into Altmaier's chest. Altmaier ends up winning this match in 5 sets, and at the net, Tsitsipas tells Altmaier, if you're going to hit an underhand serve, don't be surprised that I hit you. Instead of arguing, Altmaier moves away from Tsitsipas, and Tsitsipas walks away from the net. So after we had the Ostapenko-Townsend drama that I reported on, now, back to back, we have another drama-filled match. And as I stated in my Ostapenko-Townsend video, these heated exchanges at the net right after the match never end well. And this one wasn't bad because Altmaier did the smart thing and just walked away from Tsitsipas. Let's focus on this match. And Tsitsipas, at some portions, played some of the best tennis that I've seen since Dubai, and his backhand was working exceptionally well. Whatever that new racket is that he's playing with, I think it suits him well. I think he's on the right path. But the lack of confidence that Tsitsipas has had as of late caused him to lose this one. And of course, Altmaier played an exceptional match. As I already said, he was serving volleying a lot. He's an exceptional volleyer. And just like Tsitsipas, he also possesses a beautiful one-handed backhand. Tsitsipas played well right from the get-go. And the first set went into a tiebreak. And Tsitsipas found himself down a mini break in the tiebreak at 4-3. But then he wins 2 consecutive points on the Altmaier serve. And he has a mini break serving at 5-4. But Tsitsipas ends up losing this point where Altmaier hits a spectacular down the line forehand passing shot, and Altmaier ends up winning this first set in a tiebreak. But this doesn't affect Tsitsipas because he proceeds to play the 2 best sets that I've seen from Tsitsipas in a very long time. He wins the second set 6-1. He wins the third set 6-4, and he breaks Altmaier's serve in the first game of the fourth set. But then unfortunately he proceeds to lose his serve right away, and then at 1-all, Altmaier hits that underhand serve. And this possibly affected Tsitsipas negatively because he started playing more nervy after that. He ends up losing that fourth set 6-3. And in the fifth set, both players are playing well. But Tsitsipas has a lot of opportunities on the Altmaier serve to get a break. In 4 consecutive Altmaier service games, Tsitsipas has a break point. And even in the game at 5-4, he has break point, which was match point, but Tsitsipas cannot convert any of these break points. And interestingly, he was holding his serve easy. Now, at 5-all, Altmaier finds himself a break point. And what's so crazy about the game of tennis is that he converts the break right away and then serves out this match in a spectacular fashion and wins it 7-5 in the fifth. So even though Tsitsipas lost in the second round of the US Open, I think he can take a lot of positives out of this tournament. He played well in the match against Muller, and he also played well in his loss against Altmaier. So hopefully he can recover his form and get his ranking up in the remaining tournaments of 2025. Another incredibly entertaining match that I watched today was Cobolli against Brooksby. And Brooksby is one of my favorite players on tour. I appreciate different styles. I think the contrast of styles is something that's very entertaining to watch, and Brooksby certainly has an unorthodox style. Now, during the grass court season, I reported on the Brooksby serve, and he was going through some progressions on his serve. At one point, he was starting Jay Berger style, and then he progressed to that at Wimbledon into a serve that was more abbreviated. And for the last month or so, Brooksby has been serving with a full lag. And I think this version of the Brooksby serve is the best one that I've seen so far. He's serving a lot better in my opinion. But the quality of the Brooksby game is the quirkiness of it. I think a lot of players struggle with the fact that he plays an unorthodox style. But also Brooksby is a phenomenal athlete, a fighter. He's very quick around the court. And what I like the most about Brooksby is that he's a high energy player who pumps himself up, not in a disrespectful way, by the way. His body language is so positive. To me, it never looks like he's out of a match. And against Cobolli, he found himself down a break in the 5th set. He lost his serve early, and Cobolli was serving for the match at 5-4. And Brooksby ends up breaking Cobolli's serve. The crowd goes absolutely crazy. Brooksby holds his serve. He's up 6-5. And he has 15-30 on the Cobolli serve. So he was 2 points away from winning this match. But Cobolli, an incredible player who I picked to go in the quarterfinals. I think the next match for Cobolli is going to be very interesting against Musetti. Cobolli started playing clutch tennis. He wasn't giving any free points to Brooksby. And after holding his serve 5-6 down, he quite comfortably won the super tiebreaker. When Bublik plays, I always watch. And yes, I know he does a lot of underhand serves, but that's not why I like to watch him play. I like watching Bublik serve the normal way. So he's playing Schoolkate and he's up 2-0. And at 2-all in the 3rd set, Bublik is serving, and on 3 consecutive occasions, Bublik hits one of my favorite serves ever. And that's on a right-handed player serving to the ad side, a slice serve down the tee. This is not an easy serve to hit, and it's especially difficult to make that ball curve, because serving to the ad side, you're serving to the right, and you have to get your slice to curve to the left. So you have to break the natural trajectory of the ball. Not easy to do, but the best servers in the world know how to do this. And Bublik certainly is one of the best servers in the world. So this is something that I don't think I've ever seen. Bublik, on 3 consecutive points, hits the same spot on the ad side and hits that curving slice down the tee. 3 aces in a row in the exact same spot. Now, Bublik won this 3rd set 6-3, but it got a lot more complicated than the score suggests. He had to save some break points, and this was for sure a good test for Bublik, who plays possibly Tommy Paul next. Maybe he's going to play Borges. This match is still going on, and it's 1:38 a.m. right now. They're in the 5th set. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to win this one, because I'm going to pick Bublik as the favorite if he plays Borges. And I originally picked Tommy Paul to beat Bublik. And the reason for my choice was the following. Bublik has said that he hates playing in the United States, especially after Wimbledon. And I thought that that might be one of the reasons why he decided to skip all the tournaments prior to the US Open, and it was somewhat uncertain how he was going to play. Some people actually thought that he was going to lose in the first round to Cilic. I think he surprised a lot of people because his first 2 matches at the US Open were incredibly solid. So now that I've seen Bublik, I actually do think that he's going to be the favorite against Tommy Paul as well, if he happens to play him. And last but not least, Coco Gauff. I'm not going to go into her second serve problems. I did that in a previous video that you can check out. But I just want to say that there's an enormous amount of pressure on Coco. And she was crying in today's match. She was shaking at the changeover. So you can see that the nerves are definitely part of the double fault issues. She didn't serve well in the first set against Donna Vekic. But interestingly, Donna Vekic, possibly because of an arm injury, didn't serve well either. This was a set that featured a ton of double faults. And the crowd was so silent, this was tough to watch for some portions of that first set. But one thing that I will say is that the fact that Coco Gauff managed to win this set despite having a very difficult time getting her second serve into play or winning points off her second serve, she still won this match by playing exceptional defense and winning the clutch points. So we're talking about a big time player here, a huge champion. And the pressures of tennis come in many different ways. And I do think that the media obsessing on Coco Gauff's technique. A few years ago, it was the forehand. Now it's the second serve. It's constant criticism. It sometimes sounds as if Coco Gauff doesn't know how to play tennis. So you put all this together, I do think this is affecting Coco in a very negative way. And there was something very interesting that happened during this first set. And Coco Gauff lost her serve with a lot of double faults at 5-all in the first. And Vekic was going to serve for the set, but something was wrong with her arm, and she took an injury timeout. During the injury timeout, Coco Gauff went to the baseline and started practicing her serve, and she got 1.5 after another in. I think she hit at least 10 serves in a row. So even though there is a small technical component that's suboptimal on the Coco Gauff second serve, her serve issues are also of a mental nature for sure.